I started playing when I was 3 years old. My grandfather was a gin rummy champion, and my mom played a lot in the house. So my mother always tells the story that I learned how to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, Jack, Queen, King, Ace. So I would be like the little kid that they would put on display whenever their friends would come over and say, watch him count, watch him count. So that was, I think cards have been in my life always. I do other things. I still produce television, and I run a charitable foundation. Most people think I quit poker, but all I've been doing is charity events for the last 2 years. I did 58 charity events, I think, in the last 2 years. We raised over $110 million for the best causes in the world, and I'm very, very proud of that. And so people feel like I just quit playing poker, but I haven't quit. I've just, I felt like I was in a position to really help people in the world, and so that's what I made my focus. And now I just got this new sponsorship deal, so now I'm, responsible to promote for them. So I will be back on tour. In 2006, I won $12 million. I think that would be my biggest one. I don't know what your biggest one is. Last week I won one at Caesars. That was the biggest team poker event in the world, the Dream Team. I won that with my ex-girlfriend. And we were playing against all these great, like Phil Hellmuth and Mike Matusow had a team, and Johnny Chan, and all the best players, and they all thought that they were stacked and that we didn't have a shot. Because it was the first time that my ex-girlfriend had played in a big tournament. And we killed it. Nobody even came close. She came in 4th, I came in 9th. So it's a the lowest score. So we had 13. The next lowest score was like 45. So it didn't even come close. We just killed it. So that was a lot of fun. But I think I made it down to the last 20 or 30 players at the World Series of Europe. So I think that was not a lot, but maybe 75,000 or something like that, 100,000, something like that. But I won a lot of very small tournaments before I played. That was my first big one in 2006. I had never played a $10,000 event before. But I won a lot of small, like in my house I was very proud. You get these trophies every time, and so I was really proud that I had this table full of trophies. You win 25,000, 50,000, 75,000, but to me it meant so much to me, as a poker player. Winning a tournament is not that easy. And I won a lot of these little ones, and then the big one. And I actually still have those trophies up because I put the, when you win the big one you get a bracelet. But that year the bracelet was so heavy, it weighs about 5 pounds, so you can't wear it. So I just put it in a vault. So all I have on the mantle are still my little trophies that I'm still proud of, because that's how I became a poker player, a good poker player. Right now it's Ireland, for sure. Not just because I'm here, because it's the only place in the world that they still allow you to talk. After I won in 2006, they made a rule, I think they call it the gold rule or whatever, that you're not allowed to speak about your hand in any way whatsoever at any time. You're not allowed to say a word. You might as well just be playing on the internet. What's the point if you're not allowed to talk? And I know a lot of players, Kiran and Daniel Negreanu and a lot of friends of mine that are very vocal about the fact that it's ridiculous that you're not allowed to speak anymore. I mean, it's just silly. And I don't know one poker player that can't speak, so what kind of advantage do I have over everybody? That just happens to be the way you're supposed to play. It's supposed to be a psychological battle, but they've taken all of that out of poker. So my favorite place to play, plus I love the people here, and Kiran, who I love very much, is hosting me here, and he's made my trip, much more worthwhile. And so I love this place, and I was born Jamie Usher. I was not born Jamie Gold. My mom got remarried, met my father when I was 6. But I'm actually half Irish. But my natural father, who I don't know very well, his mom died giving birth to him. His father died before he was born, he was born in New York as an orphan, but always knew that his parents were born in Ireland and grew up in Ireland. And so I am half Irish. That's why I can't get a tan. And I've always wanted to trace my heritage. And when Kieran and I became close, he, kind of pushed me to really find my roots, and so we're going to figure out where I'm really from here. And, it means a lot to me to be here. And I've always wanted to come to Ireland. It just never happened. I'm going to be 40 this year, and I can't believe I haven't been to Ireland yet. But now, every year, unless something really extraordinary is happening that I cannot make it, I'm going to be at the Irish Open. And hopefully, at least twice a year, I want to try to make, the biggest tournaments in Europe. And I also know that I can get citizenship here. Because if your grandparents were born here, you can become a citizen. Right, yeah. So I want to be a dual citizen. Eventually, I'd like to spend, as much time as possible here. I'm happy here. I like it here. I don't want to criticize the question, but anyone that can answer that question is not a great poker player, because there's no such thing. It's who's on the table, how do you think the other players are going to play against you? There's no one, and if you do the same thing with the same hand in the same situation every time, you're about the easiest poker player to play against. So I would imagine there's no pro that would give you the same answer every time. I might limp. I might raise, I might fold. Chances are I won't fold. It's either limp or raise. But I just, I feel like you need to ask, you need to add to the question of saying that you don't know anything about anybody at the table, and then how am I feeling that day? But I think it's a very broad question.